Chris, we had a really interesting presentation on the potential use of QRs in fieldwork.
Mm.
Um, what would you say were the two or three take-home messages from your presentation and practical?
Um, the reason I chose to do stuff about QR codes is really the kind of ease of access that people can have to them. I think that because they're so easy to create, requiring no real kind of technical skill or web development techniques. It's something which is open to a lot of people. Obviously, the tools are available free on the web, so anybody can be up and making these resources pretty quickly. Also, the fact that it's quite a recognisable technology. Wherever you sort of look around in daily life, you'll find QR codes popping up all over the shop. So students will recognise what they are, and I think gradually over the next maybe kind of year, 2 years, people will become a little bit more fluent in how to use them.
Yeah.
It will just become part of habit, I guess. And also that's certainly they've got a novelty value at the moment, so they're quite fun to use, and they do help you to introduce an extra level of information and augmentation onto kind of field experiences. So yeah, I guess for me those are the three main points.
No, it's brilliant. And any kind of tips, if you like, for staff that are thinking about using this particular technology in fieldwork?
Yeah, I would just kind of play around with it is the main thing, really. It is very accessible, like I said, but there's a whole range of mobile apps available for reading QR codes, and they all do slightly different things, so it's worth having a go with a few of them and just trying them out and seeing what works best in certain situations, and just kind of really practicing it before you use it in anger is for me is kind of the
great.
main thing.
Well, what about, what would you see as the kind of potential barriers or kind of stumbling blocks that practitioners
Sure.
may come across that perhaps people that aren't as technically able as yourself?
Okay. Thank you, that's very kind. For me, it's certainly been the technical issues around reliability. When you're taking mobile devices out into the field, life seems to become instantly more complicated. Whether you've got your network available, even down to things like the lighting conditions. When you're out there, if you're putting a QR code in a sort of a dark location, it's worth taking a torch along, because not all camera phones have got flashes available and that sort of stuff. But so yeah, sort of environmental aspects as well as some of the technical things to do with network availability, and like I said in the presentation, it's always worth thinking, what if you're using QR codes as part of an activity, what value are they adding? Yeah, they're kind of nice as a gimmick, but are they actually giving you something extra which you wouldn't have had you not used QR codes to access that information?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.